Ba-dum-bum-bum. Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We're going to talk about the Sandman, the entire first season.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers ahead.
Major spoilers coming.
If you have not watched Sandman, please come back when you completed the whole series. There's 10 episodes for the main series, and there's a little bonus episode at the end that has nothing to do with the main plot. So you have been warned. We're going to talk about all of them. I gotta say, like, Won-Jin, you and I, we talked about this right off the bat here. I did feel like this was 2 seasons in one.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's 10 episodes. The main story is 10 episodes, but there's a clear line between the first 5 episodes and the remainder of the episode.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like 2 movies
because it's handling a completely different arc. So in the first half, we see. Well, the protagonist, the Sandman, is the king of dreams. And he inadvertently gets captured by a human, and then he's, captured for a century. He gets his stuff taken away. He loses his power for a while, and then it's this journey of getting that power back. So that's the first half. The second half deals with something completely different. So that's why, even though all these episodes are in a single season, it feels like we're watching 2 different seasons of the show.
I did feel like the first half was stronger, though.
That's true.
What I mean by that is there's a clear goal here. Because the first episode sort of tells us what's going on and who Morpheus is. He's what's called endless. They're basically gods, but
like
they're
immortals, sort of.
No, they're basically gods. They're not saying they're gods for some reason. And he represents a certain aspect of humanity, but he loses his treasures, and his goal is to find them. And then we get into this like detective story / cat and mouse story about him trying to get his items back, which was fascinating, which was very, very fascinating to me. And we get to see why he's called the Sandman, because he sprays sand. Like, knowing the author Neil Gaiman, I'm pretty sure this is based on mythology.
Yeah, and
with a little remix.
They even have a song, Mr. Sandman.
Yeah.
Bring me a dream.
Yeah.
Make it the cutest, blah, 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 blah. So the Sandman supposedly a being that brings people their dreams.
I think it has to do with death, though, because you're buried, but the Sandman only sprays the sand. So it's sort of a half death, so to speak. I don't know. That was just my interpretation of it. But the casting is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and the guy who plays the Sandman.
Who is that guy?
Yeah, I've never seen this guy before, and he's so good at playing this
otherworldly entity.
Yeah, otherworldly entity. Exactly. That's very well put.
His voice, like his voice doesn't match his face,
and not just the voice, but also like the way he speaks. You can truly tell that this is someone with power.
Yeah.
And that's what first of all fascinated me about the Sandman, because all these other heroes, take Thor for example from Marvel Comics.
Right.
He's a prince. He grew up a prince, and he's still under Odin. Odin is the king, and he still has a lot to learn.
Right.
But the thing with the Sandman is that he is already the king. He has been the king for eternity, basically. And he's such a supreme being himself that although he lost his treasures and all this, he never loses that self-respect element. And he's all like, the way he presents himself and the way he speaks, it's always you can kind of tell that he always speaks with a certain gravitas, authority, and it just sounds so commanding.
Hey, sorry to cut you off, but he also looks like Twilight guy.
That's true.
He does.
Maybe it's because he's so pale.
He looks like a Twilight guy. No, he's really pretty. And then he speaks, and it's like Zeus talking.
And good. I think it's also the feeling I got is it's kind of like the Twilight guy, but also the guy from the movie Perfume.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he's definitely pretty. And hey, but we're speaking of casting. My favorite casting was Satan.
The Lucifer.
Yeah. Our Brienne of Tarth is somehow Lord of Hell. You know what I like about that actress? She's sexually neutral looking.
That's true.
And weirdly has a baby face.
That's also true.
And
she has that innocent look.
Yeah. And that's why I love her casting as Lucifer. Because that's how I actually imagine an angel will look like. Because they're not really male or female. They're, we kind of interpret them as semi-human.
Yeah.
Well, old Bible, they're actually like alien creatures.
And,
but
I think that's a very good point. And I also believe that that's one of the reasons why they cast Tilda Swinton as Gabrielle in the movie Constantine. She's also very neutral.
Sexually neutral, seeming like she can play both traits. And here, what I loved about it is the reveal to Lucifer is so interesting because this world is basically hell as we know it, and then we see Lucifer herself or himself, because I don't think they ever mention her sex actually, his sex or whatever. Like she looks this innocent, and I love how she keeps changing her clothes depending her mood. I'm all white, and then battle black, and then depressed red. I'm fucking depressed, and then she plays that powerful being also really really well, and she's super fucking tall.
That's right.
So like the authority.
Remember Brienne?
Yeah,
she kicks the hound's ass.
Yeah, and this is a role that I felt she really deserved. I loved, because episode 4, the Hell Battle, is one of my favorite episodes. One of my 2 favorite episodes. And I love how the devil says, "You, sire, champion." She's like, "Oh my, fuck yeah." Like, you can tell she's like thinking I'm gonna fucking have Dream.
I'm gonna make you his bitch.
Yeah. And the actor who plays Dream, the face acting was really good because his eyes shake, and because he realizes that he was a little overconfident here.
Yeah.
And then like Lucifer, all ready to beat him already.
And there's also a foreshadow because I think what's his name, the crow guy.
Yeah.
Matthew was
it? Yeah, Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew asks the Dream if he is capable of beating Lucifer, and he's quite hesitant about it. He's still unsure whether he can.
The actual quote I think was, "How powerful is he or her?" And like immensely more than me. So there's already a David and Goliath situation, and it kind of makes sense in the world because I love the implication of that. Like, because they also mention heaven, but we don't get to see heaven. But the fact that heaven has a billion demon lords, like that kind of shows like how negative the human world actually is. Like, because they all believe in their negative thoughts, so they go there to be punished, right? Because what I'm really unclear about is if these worlds are real. There are lines in the season where they exist because the human world exists. But if that's true, then if hell is that big, it just kind of shows how much potential evil thought and evil things that the human world is up to. So that was fascinating. That was fascinating because I don't know. Like I have to give a spoiler warning to a series called American Gods 2. There's I think 2 or 3 seasons. The first season is brilliant. The remaining you don't have to watch it, but that's also from Neil Gaiman's novel.
Oh,
so
okay.
In that novel and TV series, the gods are a little bit different. They exist only because human beings believe in them. So you have Odin and bunch of Jesus Christ and all of them like being this avatar of our thoughts. And this is very similar to that. Because these gods are very odd in behavior. But the one big difference is, in this series, what's interesting is how much humanity these Endless has. They're very human. But in American Gods, they were like human, but they were actually like representative of what their aspect actually is, almost. So I like that. But that's also like a rated R series, basically. So it's very, very tackles the same idea. But I love how this series they kind of do that more proper justice.
I also like how the series started by the Dream getting captured.
Yeah,
and and when he was captured, he was butt naked, basically.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives us a fresh look on gods, and it kind of revealed their vulnerability in a way, because we believe that these supernatural beings or like a divine being would be basically untouchable by humans. So the fact that he was captured by a mere
Mortal.
They say. Mortal was quite interesting take, and the fact that they devised this cage so that he can't use his power was also interesting. So he was in there for a century.
Yeah.
I was hoping he would escape by, before that, Tywin Lannister, Charles Dance.
Yeah.
Charles Dance dies. But I love the fact that they like jump through time to see his son grow old and stuff, and it eventually reaches like present day.
Right.
That was an interesting take.
Yeah. But that's like episode 1 was really brilliant, because I wasn't sure if the partner intentionally ruined the seal though.
Oh, with the wheelchair.
Yeah. Because he saw it, like it was really weird. I couldn't tell if he didn't think it was a big deal or he intentionally did that to free him. Like, because he knew how hard it was being for his partner, his love, because it's obvious that he's also tormented by it too. Because his father captured it, but he explicitly says, I didn't want any of this. And I really can't blame him, because I think we will all be in that spot where if we caught Zeus, and Zeus says, if you let me go, you'll be fine. I'm like, fuck that. I don't think so,
you're gonna
sir.
Fry me to
get
out of here.
Your history sure proves that. Eaten alive by creatures.
Oh, yeah, especially after I shoot your bird.
Yeah. Your eagle's dead. Oh, shit. I'm going to leave this problem to my son. Hell no. So, but I do like how Dream punishes people, though. Like, because what's funny is we never got, maybe not never, but Dream as an antagonist is interesting. Because I think it's twofold meaning here. Our literal dream about what we want, and the dream, the subconscious we think about when we're asleep.
When we're sleeping.
So here, it's so weird that he has those two aspects. Because it makes perfect sense that Desire will hate him. And talk about casting. That Desire guy looks exactly how Desire will look like. Like, he's also sexually neutral, but it's obvious that... And then I like how his sister is Despair, and Despair looks like a popcorn munching hater. Like, oh, fuck yeah.
It's like ice cream all day.
Yeah. I like how they are siblings. And Death is interesting, though.
That was quite a surprise. I didn't, like, when she first came on the screen, I didn't realize that she was Death until she said to Franklin, "I'll see you later." Yeah. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. Is this Death? Is he gonna die?
Me too. The moment that came up, that reminded me of, what's that movie where Brad Pitt plays the grave scythe?
Oh, Meet Joe Black.
Yeah,
Meet Joe Black.
I got a lot of Meet Joe Black vibe, because It makes sense that Death is not like a hellish creature. It just comes suddenly.
Super attractive.
Yeah, super attractive. And that's why this show has those brilliant moments. Because I find it funny that people will find Death a little attractive. It kind of makes sense, though, right? It's
friendly face before you go.
Yeah, it's end. And then, not just the friendly face, though, but I like the aspect that people can be attracted to Death without knowing it. I think that's why, like, just like American Gods season 1, there's a lot of like thing to ponder about. Because when we talk about the endless, we're actually talking about our human condition. Because they represent us.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what's so brilliant about it. And episode 5 was also not my top 2, but my third favorite.
Was that the one where he
goes into the diner?
Yeah, in the diner he uses the ruby.
Yeah.
And everything goes ape shit crazy. Yeah. That was a
dark episode.
It was a slow start in the beginning.
I had no idea what was
going on. My god, that was crazy.
Yeah. It's funny that I had the same feeling, because by 10 minutes I was like, we're still in this diner? What the fuck is going on? I thought he was gonna leave or something, do some crazy shit. And
that was his little like social experiment or something.
No, but like, it's so... See, just like episode 4, when he's in car with that kind woman, he's kind of playing God, and he's making judgments. But I find Dream's argument fascinating, like near the end, because John's argument is a little black and white, like we talk about this all the time in our conversation, like hypocrisy doesn't mean evil. Here we see people living in misery a little bit in their more difficult moments, but if you judge them by that, then everybody's a monster. Of course John will destroy the world. Who can pass that test?
That's true.
God will be like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Like, John, you're dead. Go fuck yourself. Like, everybody will be in hell.
Yeah, like you said, it's very black and white. His basic argument was lies bad.
Yeah.
Honesty good. Look where honesty takes you.
No, but it's also like how us in human society, a lot of us, I think we do get into that moments though.
That's true.
This is all bullshit. This is all piece of shit. But that's not the whole of it. And I loved Dream's dialogue about it. He's like, no, without the dream. I love the Buddha hand moment. You bitch, you thought you beat me. Thank you for freeing me from this genie. And then he's merciful, though. I feel like that dream is a mercy to John, though. Because he could have killed him. Because we get a glimpse of hell in the prior episode, right?
That's right.
So we know what Lucifer will do to him. Oh, my little toy. I think because I love, like, jumping to episode 10, I love how, like, her right-hand woman's like, oh, Messiah, we had some devil fights for your entertainment. She's like, fuck that. I
have something more a little interesting here.
I've seen that a trillion times. People ripping each other, demons ripping each other to shreds. That's boring. Yeah. But back to John, that was like, and I also love how the show is really gray. Like, because when the mother gave the necklace, I kind of felt that.
That's true. That was a pretty powerful moment.
Yeah, casting that actress was brilliant, by the way. I love her. Like, I forget. I'm sorry I'm bad with names, but she's in really all good movies. And I love how they play with our expectation. Because the moment she walks in, we're like, is this your ex-husband or something? And then there's, she didn't age. And then there were a lot of good moments. I love how John is sort of pure, though. He is purely evil, but he's not petty. Like, he gives the woman the necklace.
What's it called? The amulet of protection or something? Yeah. He gives it to the lady who drove him. Yeah.
And that was like No Country for Old Man shit going on there. Like, because you never know, sugar will fuck you up or like make some like crazy psycho logic. Oh, you're good, you're fair. Like the thing that he only understands. Like, so like and that actor is just, he killed that role.
And also I like the way they use the effects, the special effects when the amulet first comes into power. To get rid of the Corinthian. I was quite shocked because I had no idea that the necklace would do that. Because before he gets basically disintegrated, we are informed that somebody traded the ruby for that amulet, and we know the power of the ruby. It makes dreams come true. It's like, why would anybody trade that for something else? And then we instantly realize the power it has. It
can basically say fuck you to any like spiritual shit, I'm guessing.
And after John gets the amulet, it's truly shocking when the guys try to shoot him. They get turned inside out.
I was kind of shocked by that. It was extremely violent. Like, I was kind of caught off by like the fact that they actually turned into smudge. It was really good. And season 4 and 5 was definitely a high for me, though.
Oh, not seasons, episodes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Episode 4 and 5 is. How did you feel? Like, those two episodes, I felt the most uneasy, but I had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah, especially episode 5. I agree.
And then, like, there were like really horrible moments. I think they almost touched that line on reaching like Son of Satan level movies. You know, those like Antichrist movies where William Dafoe gets his spoiler alert. Like, all those like Saw movie stuff. Like, it was even more visceral than that. But I love the hopeful message too, because Dream seems such a. See, this is. I love. You talk about Sopranos in our prior podcast. It's thanks to Sopranos that we can talk about these gray things. There really isn't a good guy or a bad guy here, right? Really. I mean, there are more evil characters, but they also get a sympathetic view.
And also, when we look at the way Dream behaves, I mean, the way he treats the Lucien and all these other people after he comes back, we can clearly see that he's also a pretty complex character. Just after all he's been through, you can see that he's got issues.
According to us humans, right? Well, we're going to get to that episode later. But Look, cause I love how he keeps mentioning him as himself as a king of his realm.
He's been around for so long, yet he still has room to grow. That's what I liked about him.
Yeah, but we talked about this privately. We got the interview of the vampire vibe. Because how would an immortal being behave? Mm-hmm. And what's funny is, though, I do feel like Lucifer is the more accurate version, though, because Dream almost feels like a naughty teenager sometimes. Mm-hmm. Remember, like my favorite episode 7, the bet with death. Mm-hmm. Oh, was it episode 6? I think that's episode 6 actually. The bet with death, and they sort of make this bet that they make a bet, and I think Death says people want to live forever, and then Dream's like, fuck no, they wouldn't do this shit. He's such a higher being than us. And then the moment they give a chimpanzee, meaning one of us, mortal, like,
let's make this interesting.
Yeah.
Today's your lucky day.
Yeah. And the chimpanzee, fuck yeah, I want to live longer. I fucking love that about that episode.
After 100 years, like, you still want to live more? Hell yeah, life is good.
I love my favorite part was he lost everything. He's like, I'm basically a bomb. And Dream makes this face like, so you want to die, right? He's like, fuck no. I love this shit. I was like, that actor killed that role. He was such a rascal and like It almost made me think of like old Asian literature, you know, those old like bad boy rascals who's always getting drunk, but he's actually a pretty nice guy at heart, but he all does like misbehaves. And we talked about this. I love that he's so good at fighting.
Yeah, that's right. Like 400 or 500 years of combat experience. Oh no, it's like 700 years of combat experience. Right,
he starts at 13.
Yes, it starts from the 13th century or something.
Yeah. So I love the fact that he defends Dream, and it's hilarious. That episode is my favorite because it really humanized the Dream character. Because this has happened before his lockdown.
That's right.
And because it's intentionally showing that after his lockdown, he became more human. Because he knows what it's... I guess what they're trying to say is he knows what it feels like to be powerless. And Dream kind of confesses that... Because there was a chance that the Tywin Lannister's son was like, I could free you. And after killing the Raven. And then there's this monologue by him that says, I could have forgiven him and gotten free, but he was spiteful. And that's a human feeling. That's
right. I would have killed him.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
That's a human feeling. And I love the fact that he comes back to the pub and says, you know, friends, whatever the fuck. And then, because I want to, if there's a season 2, I want to see that guy. Because
like, I wonder what he's doing.
No, because he would make such a great gag character. He's immortal, but I love the line that Morpheus says, you can be hurt. So imagine him getting caught by like professional torturers, but he's not going to die.
Death by 1,000 cuts, but with no death.
Yeah.
Only pain and suffering.
The next day he's like, let's stop this. I cannot die.
Please kill me.
Yeah. I don't think he'll say, kill me. He'll say, let's stop this. This is pointless. And then, you know, and you can tell he's seen some shit. He's seen some shit.
He's been around long enough to see a lot of ugly stuff.
Yeah. But I want to see more of him. But he was such a good comic relief. Besides Cain and Abel.
Oh, okay. That was also quite interesting.
Yeah. That episode when they introduced the gargoyle.
Yeah, when like the moment they said Cain and Abel, I was thinking, it's like,
you mean the Bible?
Is it gonna kill the other one? And no surprise, eventually the Cain murders Abel, and we instantly find out that this happens all the time.
Yeah, that was funny. But I was hoping for a little bit more explanation though. Because Cain and Abel being in the dream world implies that story is a dream. So I was kind of hoping to get first of all, me and both Won-Jin are not familiar with the Sandman universe. We know that it's a comic book and Neil Gaiman is involved in it.
But we're coming across this character only through this TV show.
Yeah. So my question was, why are they there? That's the Bible story, and does that mean Bible is not real? But I mean, the existence of this thing itself kind of implies that, though. But at the same time, we have Lucifer, so I was kind of confused as to what that meant. Like, what dream is this?
And another thing I liked about the show is we're still unclear of Dream's true powers.
Right.
We only see glimpses of his abilities.
Well, that's what made me sad about the episode 6 to 10, though. I mean, the Vortex story was interesting. Don't get me wrong. I did not hate it. But you know how Dream's Palace has these, like, dragons and fantastical creatures? I was actually kind of hoping for more explanation of the actual universe here of what's going on.
We're told that he made them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the creator of them all.
Yeah. And I know they probably was limited in budget, but I also did want to see like Desire's minions too. Like what would be his or her minions?
Maybe they're saving that up for the
season
second
2.
season.
No, but I would love to see Desire in season 2, of course. But what I really want to see is more Lucifer.
Yes.
Like I'm so glad that they put it near the end of episode 10. But the whole time I was like, okay, this Vortex stuff was interesting, but I want to learn more about these endlesses and what the fuck is going on.
And we see that Lucifer has a certain ambition, and the lady, the lady companion,
her right hand.
She suggests that he take action, and what's his name? Azazel.
Yeah.
Shows up with all those.
Yeah, I fucking like that.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I love the way he speaks to Lucifer. Yes, he respects Lucifer as a leader, but you can tell that there are certain there's this like a certain threat behind the things he say. It's like the generals await your answer.
No, but that's such a correct like portrayal of hell, though. You know why hell has so many rules? Because everybody knows what they're thinking. Because everybody wants the power, right? So the more power is concentrated, the more bullshit rules you have. By the rules of hell. I like that bullshit where, because in the dream world, it's obvious that whatever Morpheus says is the law. But here, by the hell of law, you have to show the weakness. It's like, or I'll kill you. That's the line they're not saying. If you're weak, I'm going to fuck you up. And Lucifer's like, oh, thank you, Azazel. And then what she didn't say was, as soon as I get the chance, I'm going to rip you to shreds in front of the billion general dukes. Because they have all these dukes and lords, right? Yeah. It's like the inversion of like the anti-authority. The irony is that these seemingly lawless demons actually have more laws because they're all thinking the same thing. Let's fuck up shit. Like let's rule world. That's like that's why a lot of mafias probably have like all these positions because everybody's thinking the same thing. So here, that was fascinating, but see, there's so many lores though. Remember that one door, open the door, that scene where he walks in and we get to see Dream in his like prehistoric like form. Yeah, he's this ancient human being. Like according to like archaeologists and historians, we were all black once, right? So that makes sense. And he sent her to hell and Dream.
I love the gatekeeper and what's his name?
Yeah, he's a famous bodybuilder. Yeah.
I love how they spoke in rhyme. As if we're reading like this mythology and stuff. Yeah. Nice detail. That was nice detail.
And I love how Dream like put him in his place. Want to dream nightmares forever, fucker? And then he like, okay, open the door. like because I love Dream's threat because I love the actor doing it because he's like, it's for real. You can tell like the only difference between him and Lucifer is what they manage with the, Oh, we didn't talk about the highlight, the actual battle between Lucifer and Dream.
Because that's a great that's something we have to mention because when I saw their fight being set up, I was imagining that they would have like a fist fight, like a trial by combat shit, we saw in the Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. But they were having this like
4D chess.
Yeah, this is like they're battling with words and ideas.
No, but I think that makes sense because these are higher beings. I guess like physical contest is like
basically this is like rap battle.
Abstract philosophy rap battle. No, but what was interesting is that these beings are so powerful that when they say those words, it seemed like it was affecting them.
Yeah, it was actually happening.
Right. And like
I'm a wolf and blah blah blah.
No, but the baddest line is from Lucifer. I am anti-life. The beast of judgment. At the end, and like the background scene of
the end, and you can see the light of the universe fading away.
No, and there's this fade of like, I think it's Lucifer's true form. Like it's black, and we see like I imagine that's how like Leviathan of the Bible is. Like it's humanoid yet monstrous, and we only see the shades of it. But I kind of assume that's like Lucifer's true form, because he and she is anti-life, and. No, but I love how Matthew gets there and like...
Yeah, Matthew's like, yo, you can't kill dreams. Blah, 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 get up.
No, you know what I was sad now that you mentioned I was hoping to see more of him. I love his like, Your Majesty, like ringside pep talk, man. Like, I love that fucking dialogue. Your Majesty.
It was really funny because the first Raven we see, the one that gets killed, doesn't have any lines.
Right.
But based on the interaction between the Dream and the Raven, we can tell that there's just like unseeable affection between the two.
Right.
There's a certain connection. But like the moment Matthew kicks in with a babbling, well, you know what I was reminded of?
What?
The pigeon character from the Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Oh shit! That's such a good comparison. No, that's so true though.
Oh man.
No, but what I wanted answers was because Matthew said he was once a human being. What does that mean?
Yeah.
I was like, so some humans die, they go to the dream world as dream creatures, and some people die and they go to hell. I kind of like, now that you bring that up, I did want more explanations. And why is Corinthian like a complete like created creature? Like what is he made out of? But that Corinthian, that design was crazy.
The fact that he did not have eyes, and the fact that his eyes are actually teeth.
Yeah.
That was quite terrifying.
No, that's like, I'm pretty sure that's Neil Gaiman's idea. That's some brilliant design because there's something evil about that.
Yeah,
that mouth.
And I was wondering why he was cutting out people's eyes. And after seeing the last episode where Corinthian dies, I realized that he was eating those eyes with his eyes.
Oh,
probably. You know, we can see that he's snacking on those eyes.
Yeah,
I thought he was eating it with his mouth, but I think he was eating them with his eyes.
Because that possibly. But there's so many symbolism going on here. Because you know how the eye is the window to the soul. But what I liked about the vision is that Corinthian is blind. He has eyes as teeth, but he can't see the complete truth of it. That's why like episode 9 or 10, like Dream tells him you're a failure because Corinthian, like John in episode 5, sees only half the picture. And I like that design has that symbolism because he's blind. No, because like even with the sunglasses, it's the implication is that the design also makes him look evil, but it also implies that him being a nightmare, he only sees that part of humanity. He doesn't see the whole picture. But I did like how he died though. I like how he's fuck you to the end. And then I love creator and father dialogue. He's like, you made me, and you can really tell the hurt he has. Like he was really hurt. Like it's like talking to your father, right? Like you imagine Lucifer. Remember when Dream said, "Don't all devil wish to go to heaven?" And Lucifer gave that pain face. Fuck you! Oh, emotional damage. Shit, fucker. Because he just said, "What power does Dream have in hell?" But don't you guys dream of heaven? He's like, "Oh, fuck you!" And then here the actor kills it, but like you can tell Corinthian is hurt. And I also like he's like the godfather of every serial killer in United States.
The collectors. That
Yeah.
was also an interesting element. The fact that these serial killers have like a convention every year and they're looking for this like guest of honor to give a keynote speech.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And fucking dark. Because you know what... You know that guy with the fun guy, like you know what his
the Funland.
You know who he is, right? He's basically good John Wayne Gacy, like the child killer. Like it was so horrible and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love the casting of the Vortex's little brother.
Oh, Jed.
Yeah, he looked like such a bad boy, like obnoxious but a good-hearted boy. That was a great casting.
So innocent.
Yeah, but one of the shocking scenes was when they walk into the serial killer's dream.
Okay,
Yeah,
like the one, like where these people were
like,
all murdering. The good doctor was like murdering the patient.
Oh yeah.
the guy was making, like, he was using a sewing machine to make, like,
human, like, carpentry or whatever.
Yeah, something with human skin.
Yeah.
That was disturbing.
But I love the implication of it, though, because the moment Corinthian is disabled, these people start to be human again, and the show kind of implies that they all, like, being human means to know these are evil, because they.
Yeah, that's a great point, and it reminds me of the thing that you said about being blind.
Yeah.
Now they see their actions and its consequences, implications, and they can't handle. Some of them can't handle the guilt. So the guy who was making that human skin thing, he kills himself in the car. Some of them turn themselves in.
Yeah, because that's actually a very positive note. Like, it was really dark and ugly for a couple episodes there, but the message that they're doing is that these are not representative of the entirety of humanity, and that's the beauty of that scene.
Yeah, and this is what I liked about the show, because when I first saw the trailer for the Sandman, I was expecting another superhero character. And remember, we were talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're getting this fatigue,
right,
of these superhero characters. But what I experienced from the Sandman is unlike what I had experienced watching these hero movies and TV shows.
No, Won-Jin, you know what it is? The problem with Marvel movies is not treating like us. We are adults, you know. But here, the show is obviously dealing with some serious stuff in an entertaining way. It's because in some episodes you can definitely tell this is a comic book, like that batshit crazy shit.
Oh,
yeah. Like, I love the imaginative, like, jumps. And we forgot to mention Miss Constantine.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Constantine. Instead of John Constantine, we have Johanna Constantine.
Yeah. That's the best thing about comic books, right? They got all these, like, family with different sexes, even possibly.
Oh, and you know, her nightmare was also quite terrifying. You know, that girl getting sucked in, and she's left with the chopped off arm, like burnt off arm. No,
but see, this is why I want to see more of Hell, though. Because I thought they were going to show her in Hell, you know,
with her hand missing.
Yeah, because what's so funny about the Hell design was that even that door guard had arrows up his back, and one arm chopped up, I think, into like a hook claw.
And Matthew says it wasn't like burning all the time. Like we know of Hell. Yeah. It was actually pretty cold.
Yeah. I think it's more of Dante's Hell. I think the Hell has a lot of layers to it. And because it's like, it's kind of implied that it's kind of Lucifer's pleasure, like palace too. And, you know, nobody is debauched in one way. You know, but I love Lucifer saying, like, I'm tired of these demons killing each other. This boring fucker. No, but I did like the summon, though. Do you know the name of the demon? I must confess, I don't know. Let's bring them all then, and then like it's like a show of her power, right? She can just summon them all, and they're all like
an instant. And they're all like cheers, like Lucifer. And then I like how like her minion kills the Duke. I don't want to give it back. Fuck you. And then Lucifer, fuck yeah. Like it's like the seven deadly sins. Oh, but it's also kind of implied that Morpheus knows that woman. Oh, that's right. He
immediately mentions
her name and he greets her.
Yeah, I thought there was I thought they were lovers or something. There might be a history there.
Yeah, she probably has a history.
Yeah. And I want to know why half her face is gone. And because this is why again I love Lucifer's casting, because all these demons we see, like we only see a few of them, but they're like damaged. But Lucifer is intact.
Yeah, intact. And just like we saw from the movie Constantine. Yeah. In the movie Constantine, he was all like cool. He's wearing a suit.
Right.
Instead of black, he's like all white.
Yeah.
Except for the black tar like dripping from his feet and stuff. We wouldn't like assume that this guy is Lucifer.
No, he's yes, he is. He's a badass Lucifer. Oh. He's the coolest Lucifer in the world.
And I think it's because while they're walking up to meet Lucifer, Matthew asks about him, and I mean him or her, and he mentions that Lucifer even in the Bible, used to be the most most powerful, wisest, knowledgeable angel of them all.
Well, it's not Bible per se. It's the Christian mythology around it. You know how that whole story came after that. It was all made up in medieval times, and then that's how we lead to Paradise Lost, John Milton, because the devil as a rebel figure like that was basically created by John Milton in his poem Paradise Lost. It has a very famous quote: "The mind can make heaven out of hell and hell of heaven." Because the demon has this whole monologue about I'm a fucking badass, fuck you, all that stuff. Because before that, Lucifer is just pure evil. He's like a creature almost, like how we think of ghosts and stuff. But here, the Lucifer we know, it's obvious that like she's a badass, and because that face she makes when she said, "Don't all demons dream of heaven?" She's like, "Fuck." I'm gonna kill you. You know, like, and then I like the face she makes too when he says hope. Like, and then there's like fantasy music, like victory music, like Harry Potter killing Voldemort, and she's like, oh! I love those little, like, it's almost comic bookish. Like I love their like interdimensional fight, and maybe they don't explain it because once they start explaining it, it doesn't make any sense anymore. That's true. Yeah, you know what I mean? But it was...
I think it didn't really need explaining.
Yeah.
Because it was still fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, man. But I would really love a season 2. This is one of those... I want to say pulp fantasy, but we didn't put that in the title. But I do like how it's entertaining and like deeply... Like, not deep, but... Yeah, deep. Like some deep like human nature shit going on. I like the commingled mixed of it.
Yeah, and I was very interested and intrigued by the character of the Sandman.
Yeah,
because it was unlike any other heroes I've seen.
Oh, and then you mentioned it. You said you loved how each episode felt like a mini story.
Ah, that's true.
Build up. I mean, because you watched more episodes before me, and you told me that, and I definitely got that like impression. There are definitely like story within a story elements here, which is really really interesting. Really really, and then they did it really well. My God.
So I'm very looking forward to the second season, and I hope we will see more of Desire.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted more of Desire too, actually. I love the castle, like
yeah,
because like I love the red and black color, like
and the golden eyes.
Yeah, like because that made me really ask. Like dreams are like represented our desires sometimes, right? And I want to see more siblings because they mention more than we've seen. Because Lucifer asked, "How are your siblings?" La 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 la, despair, whatever, and then. I felt like she was kind of making fun of him. That never helped you while you were fucking locked away.
You're locked away by a mortal.
Oh, little bitch. Are you here to submit? I like. Yeah.
I got your shit here. I heard you lost your little toy.
Yeah.
My little demon's got it. I can just give it to you, but I want to see where this goes. I was bored.
Yeah. I like that arrogance and like, hubris out of the devil, because you could argue without it they're not really devil.
That's true.
Yeah. So how would you grade this one, Jim?
I would rate it like okay, if I grade like the first half of the season, I would give it like a 9 out of 10.
Fuck yeah.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Including the latter half, I would give it in total like 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I agree. I'll give it the total series 8.5. Because the first half, I would describe it as like a real like mystery detective like thriller ride. Up to episode 5, I have never been bored. I gotta admit, the second half, I was kind of confused for 2 episodes. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, like the Jed's Sandman dream, and Rose, and the Lyda, her friend, and all these stories.
Yeah, I was not always invested in it, and I was confused till the end of what the overarching like thing is. And I'm gonna be honest, I still don't understand what the fuck Vortex means. Like, so the show says the Endless does know everything. Like, I wish there were a little bit more explanation of the logic of this world, but I didn't hate it because of the serial killer convention thing. And I love how they're like, it was. I think they were trying to do a even more sophisticated thing than the first half, though, because we see that that green pasture dream guy, like the British guy. Like that's so fascinating though. Like the dream would just sit down and be nice to Vortex, and I love because he's intentionally there to be the opposite of Corinthian. Like he's a good dream, like sort of a nature beautiful thing that also wants to see the human world, and I love that. I like. It's an adult fantasy done right. So that good point. Yeah, the latter half I would give like, if it was by itself, I'll give it a 7.5. The first I would give a 9. But together, I am just so invested in like Sandman's world now. Thanks to this first season, I'm fascinated by it. Yeah. And the bonus episode actually shows Morpheus's wife. I'm sorry to give you a spoiler.
Really? I haven't seen it yet though.
Yeah, as one of the muses. Oh. So they actually have a Greek mythology story. Oh. So see, this is why I'm sorry to say this one, Jin. Watch it after tonight, but see there they mention Zeus. So my question became like, then what's the difference between endless
and these
like
Greek gods?
Yeah. Because Lucifer is there. Because this is what American gods did. In American gods, different gods of different mythology coexist. They just depend on who believe in them. So here, I think they're going to do the same thing. Yeah. So a lot of it is based on actual mythology, and they incorporated it, which Neil Gaiman does all the time with his fantasy work. So that was what was fascinating. So anyway, we loved this. I guess we felt this was a very strong show. None of the CG looked awkward. It was really beautiful.
It was very surprising. Yeah. It was a fresh take on this superhero world. Yeah. It was kind of like watching, instead of Thor, it was kind of like watching Odin. Oh. Yeah, because like the king and he has such authority.
I actually didn't. I honestly, before we watched it, you know, we didn't know that it was comic book, but I actually didn't get superhero vibes at all. Because some themes were really dark, actually.
That's right, especially like episode 5.
Yeah, that's some horrible stuff. I think, and then I think they filmed it so well. It almost went Event Horizon there.
Oh man, that's one of the most horrifying movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, because
I watched that. By the way, Event Horizon. If anybody hasn't seen it, oh man, do not watch it at night.
Yeah, underrated.
That gave me nightmares.
Yeah. Director Thompson's underrated movie, like
Liberate tutame. Oh my god.
Okay, now that you mentioned that, like I did think that they would maybe do, you know, even more crazy stuff, like Greek mythology level stuff. But anyway, I love how unscared they were too. See, this is what's good about Netflix and like shows today. Like, but I do hope they put a rating on it though. It was one of those like really darker like series though. Like the Serial Convention was one of the best like black humor I have seen in a while, because it took me a while to understand what they were actually talking about. And I at first I thought that lady was Desire in disguise, and that Funland guy was actually Despair. I thought they were like pretending to come to Earth and play along, but that was not the case.
They were collectors.
Oh shit! Oh, it's so disgusting. But anyway, I think that concludes our take for Sandman. Did you like it? If you liked it, please leave a comment and share your thoughts. If you like our video and want us to continue to do review for TVs and movies, please like and subscribe and tell us what you guys want us to talk about next. We are watching She-Hulk though, but we felt like we don't want to do it episode per episode. Because since the episodes are so short, we do want to watch it substantially and give our take. Yeah. So we are watching She-Hulk, and we can't wait to share our thoughts. I think I would say I have mixed feelings about it, but we'll talk about it more once we have enough details on it. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. See you next week. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I was Won-Jin.
See you later.
Bye-bye.